When people talk about a midlife crisis, they often imagine it as a sudden breakdown, but psychologically, that's not what's really happening. In this video, I'm going to explain the 10 most common ways midlife crises are triggered. And over the next 10 videos, I'll unpack each one in depth so that you can understand how or why it might apply to you. A midlife crisis is usually triggered by a loss, not everyday loss, but a profound loss. Most of us can cope with ordinary losses in life, like losing a pet, not getting a promotion, a friend becoming ill, even significant disappointments. These losses are painful, but we can usually grieve them, process them, and carry on. They hurt, but we bounce back, and they don't fundamentally change who we believe ourselves to be or how safe the world feels around us. Now, a profound loss is different, and it's a profound loss that triggers a midlife crisis. A profound loss is the loss of somebody or something you have deeply invested in with either love, time, energy, or money, or a combination of these things. Now, that might be a relationship that you really value, your children needing you less, a career, your looks, your health, your purpose, your status, or the death of a loved one. When something like this is lost, or even begins to fade, it doesn't just cause sadness. It can shake your very foundations. And people often describe feeling lost in the world, untethered, unsafe in the world, unsure who they are anymore, suddenly aware that time is running out. And this is when a midlife crisis is triggered. Because these losses don't just take something from you, they threaten your very identity. They challenge who you thought you were and how the world worked around you and what gave your life structure and meaning. And when that structure collapses, we naturally scramble to close the gap and make life secure again as quickly as possible. And this can lead to us experiencing anxiety, restlessness, and a sense of hopelessness or panic. Now, behaviorally, we might leap to impulsive decisions to try to stabilize ourselves, potentially making decisions we later regret, because we're trying to attempt to gain some control in a situation that feels completely out of control. We might also withdraw from our usual routines and people as we try to find answers and understand why we feel the way we do. So this isn't a weakness, it's a natural existential response that anyone would have when an enormous loss and change is experienced in life. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to create a series of videos in which I'll unpack 10 common midlife events and losses that can trigger this kind of crisis and explain why each one hits so deeply. I'll be talking about loss of meaning and direction, loss of identity, who you thought you were, loss of role, especially around parenting, empty nesting, caregiving, because this is particularly relevant for midlifers. Loss of a relationship or marriage, because divorce and separation, again, hit really hard in midlife. Loss of youth, looks and attractiveness. Loss of energy, drive and vitality, and the experience of midlife fatigue when it's not related to anything physical. Loss of career, job satisfaction and status. Loss of health and physical certainty. Loss of parents and the shift to now becoming the older generation, not the child. Loss of the life you thought you might have, coupled with regret and feelings that it's too late to change. So join me as I offer explanations, strategies, and a way forward when uncertainty and loss appear in your life. And let me help you make the first steps in navigating midlife with clarity rather than fear.